Hello. The Yoruba would say, Kìí Mọ kórí má jì. And some may say, Kìí Mọ kórí má mì. You cannot walk without your head moving. You can't walk and have your head stiff. You can't walk without your head tilting, moving, rolling, shifting here and there, forth and back, sideways. It's not possible. And what that implies is that nobody is perfect. Nobody has a 360-degree view of anything in this world. So there is no how that you can do without mistakes, errors, omissions from time to time. But be that as it may be, you still have the responsibility to be careful at all times. A lot of people say when they have made a mistake and their attention is called to it, they are quick to say, after all, nobody is perfect. Yes, we know that. Nobody is perfect. But even though nobody is perfect, you still need to be careful at all times. And you still need to admit your mistakes when you make them. You take responsibility for your mistakes. That is not for you to take liberty for license and say, after all, nobody is above mistake. No. That is the way not to grow. Anybody who wants to grow, one, would be very careful, cautious, painstaking, watchful, vigilant as they go about in their journey of life. You don't want to make mistakes upon mistakes. No. And when you are being very careful, you are taking care of all the sides that should be taken care of. And because it is human to err is human. And you now make a mistake, and somebody now calls your attention to it. The way to grow is to listen. When you listen, you may say thank you. It's not bad to say thank you because it is not every time that you say thank you that the person has done the best or used the best approach or did the best or that the person is gracious or kind. No. It doesn't mean. In Yoruba they say Ọpẹ́ là ń dá lọ́wọ́ àjọlé. So your thank you sometimes may not mean that you have admitted that allegation is true, but it doesn't hurt to listen and say thank you. It's not difficult to say. After that, you now process all that the person has said on your own. If you are true to yourself, you will see where you have made mistakes. If you reflect on what the person has said and you still feel that you haven't made any mistake, you now go back to the person if it is necessary and say, I have thought about that thing. I realized that this was the way it went and this was what happened. You tell the roles that you played and you point to where the omissions came from and how it happened, so that the person can understand your situation, your position, and then the person may realize that it was not your mistake. But one deadly thing that you can do to yourself is to hate rebuke, is to hate corrections, is to hate to be corrected. You listen. Listening is a spiritual virtue. Listen, think, learn, apologize if necessary, make amends if necessary, and keep growing, keep getting better. Kìí Mọ Kori Maji. But you don't throw your own head down the slope without applying any control, just to prove a point that nobody is above mistakes, or just to prove a point that it is not possible for you to walk without your head shifting or moving or tilting. No, you don't throw your whole head down the slope to roll along without applying some brake or control. You will land in trouble. Kìí Mọ Kori Maji. That proverb is not a license for you to make the same mistake over and over again, because you are prepared to fire back at anybody who calls your attention to your omission. After all, you two are not perfect. Nobody is above mistake. No. Every day of our life is an opportunity to grow and be better than who we were yesterday. It is true, Kìí Mọ Kori Maji, but you don't roll your head consciously and carelessly, because everybody's head is moving involuntarily. Everybody's head is moving by reflex, but your own head is moving by carelessness. In fact, it has gone beyond moving. It's now rolling down the slope by your carelessness and your imperviousness to correction. Kìí Mọ Kori Maji, that's it. But the mistake that you made yesterday, ordinarily, shouldn't be the same mistake that you make today and tomorrow and next week and next year. So how will you grow? So that's what I've come to call your attention to. That yes, it is true that a man, a woman, anybody cannot walk without having their head moving slightly. The head will remain stiff when you are walking. But that doesn't mean that you should by yourself throw your head or your mass or your body, throw your own ass down the slope to roll into fire. And again, there's also a counsel for people who are quick to criticize or condemn others in the program. Before you condemn people will make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And if you are in the position to correct somebody who has made a mistake, be gracious with your comments. Be kind in your approach. A lot of people are quick to say, let's nail him to the cross because he has made a mistake. You make mistakes too. Everybody in life makes mistakes. So when you call their attention to it kindly, the probability that they will listen to you and learn from your advice is higher than when you are so rude or unkind in your approach. So I hope that you will let this guide you, inspire you, caution you as you proceed in your journey of life, that because nobody is perfect does not mean that imperfection should characterize your life on a daily basis. I also hope that you would learn from me that when another person has made a mistake, you don't say, let's nail him to the cross. because you too are not perfect. So I'd like to thank those who have joined me in this broadcast for their company. Good luck, Lily, confidence, thank you. NC the Great, thank you. Ishola Olaoluwa Ogedegbe, thank you all for the like. Please feel free to share so that others too can learn from it. I'll see you again and very soon. My name is Bola Omotayo. Bye for now.